Let's face it, 50% of marriages are going to end up in divorce. Sometimes they'll end because of lack of money. Sometimes people just grow apart. Other times, just plain old cheating. But what I believe most of these marriages end for is lack of intimacy and lack of sex. I've been in a relationship for 15 years. I've seen all the ups, I've seen all the downs. I've seen where I went wrong, and I've seen where she went wrong. I believe I can truly help the men pinpoint what they're doing wrong and their small nuances and mistakes in relationships. And then after that, it's up to you to lead. If you continue to lead and she doesn't take your lead and it still doesn't work, it's on her and you gotta let her go, my guy. It's just the way it is. You gotta let it go. If she's not in it and not fully committed in it with you, it is what it is. There are other women in the world, and if a woman doesn't want to be with you, she doesn't want to be with you. You can't make a woman be with you, especially if she's found someone else, especially if she's into someone else. You kind of gotta face the facts and let it go. But men, I once heard that it takes 7 years to learn a woman's body. It takes 7 years to learn her cycles. It takes 7 years to learn her emotional peaks. It takes 7 years to learn the person that she really is. And the fact of the matter is, most of these relationships are ending between year 1 and year 3, which means you're not even taking the proper time to learn each other. Men, you have to be fully present with your woman. You got to sit down with her and take time to learn her flows, take time to learn her emotions, take time to learn who she is as a woman, who she is as a person. You got to take time to learn what turns her on. Take time to learn her deep fantasies. These things don't come out right away. Sometimes you might have to wait 5 years before she's comfortable telling you her fantasies. Of course, there are certain men who are going to get that out of her right away, but sometimes, if she likes you, if she really likes you, and she's scared of you running away, it takes time. It takes time to learn and hear everything she has to say. So that's one of my first suggestions to you. Take time to sit and learn. Sit and learn with a woman. Learn who she is. Learn her dreams, her ambitions, her goals, what turns her on, what tires her out, what turns her off. You need to learn the flows of your woman. And I believe the true mastery of that, takes up to 7 years. Sometimes you need to learn when she's testing you. Sometimes you think she's unhappy. You hear audibly that she's unhappy, but she's not really unhappy. She's using certain vocal tones just to test your character as a man. She needs to know that you are who you say you are. She needs to know that you can keep your word. She needs to know that you can do everything that you say you're going to do, even if there's a distraction in front of you. And sometimes that distraction might come in the form of the woman you love. She will test to distract you sometimes just to see if you can stand your ground and stay grounded in any situation. She needs to know the character of the man she's with, all right? Unfortunately, that's in their biological programming. I'm not saying every woman does this, but most women will do this. They will test you to some extent, and you got to stay grounded and stay present. And another fact here, listen, the honeymoon phase, it lasts 1 to 3 years, which is when most marriages are ending. So when real life hits and you start realizing who you both are, that's when shit gets real. I find women in relationships, especially if they have lower libidos than men, especially when it stops getting hot and heavy, men, it's up to you to keep it hot and heavy. It's up to you to keep the flirting going. It's up to you to keep her turned on, to keep seducing her, to keep complimenting her. If you get too comfortable in your relationship and you stop doing these things, the intimacy will wear off. The seduction will wear off. The mystery will wear off. If you're always just ready for sex, if you're always, can we have sex? Are we going to have sex tonight? It is a huge turn off to her. She needs to be swept off her feet in a way. She needs to be taken on dates. You still need to get her flowers. You still need to tell her she's beautiful. You still need to give her massages. You still have to have long foreplay. Our blood flow as men is faster. We have more nitric oxide. We have more testosterone. We have better blood flow, which means we get turned on faster. Our erogenous zones fill up with blood faster. A woman after the honeymoon phase is slow boil. She takes time to get aroused, and you have to bring her there. It's up to you. So it's up to you to have longer foreplay. It's up to you to give long massages. It's up to you to talk to her seductively. You have to learn how to do these things. Otherwise, you're going to find the intimacy is fading and you're not going to know why. I get when you get with a woman, she's wet on command. Sometimes she's wet before you even unbutton her pants. But after a while, after a few years, when she gets used to all your sensations, it takes your woman more to get turned on. So you might be finding, oh, we don't have sex as much as we used to. Oh, we don't hook up as much as we used to. She doesn't get as wet as she used to. That's okay. You have to bring her there though. But when you've been together for so long and she's used to everything you do, you got to switch things up. You got to surprise her and catch her off guard. Sometimes a woman gets so bored with the same old sexual routine that a lot of these men are doing out here. A lot of these men are programmed by these corn videos to lick it and stick it. They literally go down, they lick for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they go inside and they last 5 to 7 minutes, which is the average duration of how long men are lasting out here. And that's something else we got to improve. You as a man, you have to be able to prolong your ejaculation past an hour long. This means pacing yourself during sex. This means not always focusing on penetration. This means longer foreplay sessions. This means be intimate with her. Be present with her. Use your voice to seduce her. Give her long massages. Give her long oral. Finger her slow to fast. Pace things out. Kiss her all over her body. Get her stimulated and in the mood. You need to learn how to be the kind of lover and kind of person that brings pleasure in ways that other men can't. Because every man knows how to lick it and stick it. Not every man knows how to please a woman for over an hour. You need to have the mindset for it. You need to have the mindset in sex that there are ups and there are downs. There are peaks and there are valleys. Not every moment is going to be this blissful orgasm. There are going to be some times you just have to lay and breathe with each other and take your time and massage each other and touch each other and figure things out as you go. Warm her up to pleasure. She literally needs a warm up to pleasure. Whereas a man, a woman could go down on you and you could be done in 5 minutes and you're satisfied. A woman doesn't get satisfied like that. You can bring a woman to orgasm in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It's not going to fill her cup in the same way. It is almost like fast food sex. If you give a woman fast food sex, I believe she's always going to be thinking what else is out there. If you can fill a woman's cup in sex, even if she sees other men that she desires, she can get little thoughts, but she's already sexually satisfied. And you know, as a man, when you're already sexually satisfied, you don't need much else. If you have a loving woman who's on you, giving you pleasure, giving you everything you need to fill your cup, even if there's other pretty women out there, you feel so good and feel so high off that perfect sexual encounter that you had that you don't need much else. You really don't. But you know if your woman neglects you, you know if your woman barely wants to touch you, barely wants to sleep with you, you in your mind, you're going to be like, I think there's something else out there. It's the same for women, but it's in the sense that if you don't know how to fulfill her sexually, if her body's not pleased the right way, if you missed erogenous zones, if you didn't fill her cup, she will always be thinking and wondering what else is out there. How can I fulfill my fantasies? So like I said, it takes 7 years to learn a woman's body. Make sure you communicate with your woman. Make sure you're present with your woman and ask her. Ask her about the sex, what she likes, not during it. Don't always say, do you like that? Do you like that? But after, talk about it, unwind, get into detail. Don't ask from like an insecure standpoint, like, did that feel good, baby? You can't do that shit. You literally have to ask, how did it feel when I licked you right there? How did it feel when I was biting on your neck? You seemed like you liked that. You look like you like that a lot. You got to ask questions like this. You have to use certain tones that are confident, that are backed with confidence. If it's from insecurity, she will say what she needs to say to make you feel better. But if you're just chill and you're relaxed and you guys are just talking about the sexual experience and you even give her honest feedback, like my balls are really sensitive. It doesn't always feel good when you lick the left ball or like shit like that. If you give honest feedback, she's going to give you honest feedback. You have to build that honesty with each other, that communication with each other. You're going to try and be with this person for the rest of your life, I assume. That's why you're probably going to get married. That's why you're in a long-term relationship. So you need to learn how to be super transparent and super honest. The second you open that door and you bring that energy in, she's going to be able to return it to you. If you fail to do so, She's always going to be telling you lies. She's always going to be faking orgasms. She's always going to be giving you sex when she doesn't want to give you sex. And if she does that, it closes doors. The more she has to give you sex when she's not even in the mood, when she's not even fully turned on, you're going to get less sex because she's creating blockages inside of her. She doesn't want to create these blockages, but that's what's happening when she's opening her legs to you against her own will just to satisfy you. But men, I'm telling you, if you want to solve this sexual problem, I recommend every man go look up Susan Bratton. Susan Bratton is a sex educator. She teaches this stuff in depth. She teaches everything you need to know about a woman's body, her pleasures, her fantasies. She goes really, really into depth, of course, like about like sex toys and stuff, which I don't really feel that people need. But if that's what you guys need, that's what you need, you know? But when she talks about a woman's body and a woman's vulva and the way to stimulate it and fully engorge her and get her in the mood, I believe that woman has that locked down. Another woman I really like is Sasha Cobra. Sasha Cobra talks about the spiritual aspect of sex you need to fulfill a woman. She comes from a very, very good perspective, and I think a lot of men need that in their life as well, all right? You need to slow down when it comes to sex. And that's something that I realized from both these women. That's the main lesson. Slow down and take your time because a woman's body takes so long to warm up. A man, you're good in 5 minutes. You're good to go. You're ready to penetrate. A woman needs longer to penetrate. And even when you penetrate, tease the penetration. You don't have to go all the way in right away. In most cases, that hurts her and creates more blockages. Creating blockages is what's screwing you out of sex. Every time she verbally communicates that she's not in the mood tonight, that doesn't necessarily mean she's not ready for sex. It means warm her up more. She's just telling you how she feels right now. If you spend time warming her up, making her feel even better and better and better, you never know, you might have sex. But on top of that, if she still doesn't want to have sex, don't turn around all grumpy. Don't get all mad. If she sees that sex can control your emotions like that, and your emotions are always on the line when it comes to sex, it puts her in a rough position where she's going to be like, oh, if he doesn't get his sex tonight, he's going to be mad. So I'll just have sex with him. You don't want a woman who will just have sex with you. You want to actually wait and feel out when she's fully turned on and ready for you and wants you inside of her. All right? That's very important to do. It's a very important thing to do. Wait for her to be warmed up to accept you in. She needs to accept you in. And that's when you have the most beautiful sex, all right? I promise you that. But okay, let's say you're actually getting sex. You're getting sex on the regular. What I recommend for most guys to do is always like stop the nice guy shit and stop the too rough shit. If it's bang, bang, boom, boom all the time, her body gets tired of getting pounded and beat up, and she'll require sensuality and intimacy and slower paced lovemaking. It opens her heart more. But on the other hand, if you're always the nice guy and you're always, baby, do you like that? Baby, does that feel good? Sometimes she needs to get taken off her feet. Sometimes she needs to get thrown on the bed. Literally, you need to be the perfect blend of sweet and nasty. You got to be hard and soft. You have to be hot and cold. Her body needs variety. Some days she's a little kitten and she needs little rubs. Other days she's a fierce lioness and she needs to take control and she needs to, you know what I mean? You need different flavors of sex. It's not always the same thing. If her body expects the same penetration from you, the same licks from you, the same massage from you, she will get bored of the sex. Sometimes you got to bring different energies to her. Sometimes you got to hold her by the hands or the wrist, pin her on the bed. You have to do different things at different times. And this is where the 7 years comes in, because you have to learn her flows. You have to learn the look in her eyes that she currently has. I'm telling you, if you embody all the personalities of sex that she requires to please her, instead of just being that one flavor, that one vanilla flavor over and over again, she's more likely to enjoy the sex over longer periods of time. And you'll find that she actually doesn't need that much variety. In most cases, it's like 3 to 4 different types of energy you need in sex. Sometimes soft, sometimes a little rough, sometimes sweet, sometimes gentle, sometimes slow, sometimes a lot of caressing. She needs just different flavors, and you got to learn your woman. That's up to you. So, guys, I'm telling you, sharpen up your sex game, prolong your ejaculation, learn the flows of your woman. It's actually very, very simple techniques. And when she actually sees that you're making the efforts to be this man, that you're making the efforts to get to know her and be that better man in her life, she's gonna want to stay with you. You gotta alchemize your sexuality. You know what I'm saying? You gotta alchemize your sexuality. Change yourself constantly. Experiment. Do different things. She needs to know that you're actually trying. And that's the thing about most men after 4, 5, 6 years, after year 3 even, they stop trying. They stop being kind. They stop being sweet. They stop seducing. And they just expect. I expect a blowjob. I expect you to want to get on top of me. I expect you to cook for me. I expect you to do my laundry. Shit like this. It's that typical mundane expectation bullshit that makes everyone tired of each other in relationships. Yes, you might have acquired certain responsibilities in this relationship, but in the end, it's two individual people. You have to stay who you are. You have to be true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, if that person wants to leave, it's back to self once again until you find someone else. And that's probably the last thing I want to tell you guys. Never stop working on yourself. If your woman sees you constantly trying to get better in life, constantly hone into your craft and the things that she was initially attracted to, she will forever be attracted to you. But when you become these guys and you make everything about her and you make the center of your life about that woman, she gets bored and disgusted. You have to think James Bond. James Bond has time to make love. James Bond has time to be a good lover, but most of his time is dedicated towards his mission. He has to be that guy on that mission. She needs to see that you're trying to save the world. She needs to see that you're dedicated to a higher purpose. And that is ultimately what I believe will turn your woman on the most. All right? Stay true to yourselves, y'all. Peace, love, knowledge, and protection to you and yours. Tap in on those sex skills, y'all. I'm telling you, it'll save your marriage, all right? I'm out.